हाय हेलो नमस्कार दोस्तों, कैसे हो आप। तो दोस्तों यहाँ पे आज इस वीडियो के अंदर हम बातें करने वाले हैं देविका साजिश के साथ। यहाँ पे जो है दोस्तों ये बहुत ही बढ़िया एक यूट्यूबर है, अपकमिंग यूट्यूबर है ऐसा भी बोल सकते हैं। और इनके वीडियोस आपको देख के जो है काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें जो है देखने को मिलेगी, सीखने को मिलेगी। तो ये जो है अभी कनाडा के अंदर शिफ्ट हुई है, वहाँ पे अभी पढ़ाई करने के लिए जो है गई है। उसके अलावा यहाँ पे क्या क्या चीज़ें करी है थोड़ा सा हम देख लेते हैं। वैसे तो बहुत डिटेल में इन्होंने नहीं बताया अपने लिंक्डइन पे, बट यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं क्राइस्ट नागर कॉलेज इंडिया के अंदर जो है इन्होंने बीए इन जर्नलिज्म एंड मास कम्युनिकेशन की जो है पढ़ाई करी थी दोस्तों 2019-22 के अंदर। इसके पहले आई थिंक ये दुबई के सिंगापुर वगैरह कहीं पे थी। उसके अलावा आप देख सकते हैं कि ये एक 2 साल तक जो है एक चेंज मेकर है, तो वॉलेंटियर थी। वो नाइट करके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, बेंगलोर 24/7 के अंदर वीडियो कंटेंट क्रिएटर भी थी दोस्तों। और अभी जो है कनाडा के अंदर जो है फेंशे कॉलेज करके जो है वहाँ पे पढ़ाई करने गई है दोस्तों। तो आपको काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग जो है यहाँ पे सीखने को मिलेगा। अभी लेटेस्ट जो क्या बोलते हैं कनाडा के अंदर चीज़ें चल रही है, पार्ट टाइम जॉब के बारे में, सर्वाइव के बारे में, क्या लाइफ होती है स्टूडेंट्स की। और काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें यहाँ पे जो है उनका वीज़ा एप्लीकेशन का प्रोसेस क्या था, उन्होंने कहाँ से जो है क्या बोलते हैं कि अपना कॉलेज को ढूंढा और क्या क्या उनका आईलेट्स का स्कोर आया था। बहुत सारी इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ें आपको देखने को मिल जाएगी। उसके अलावा बहुत ही क्रिएटिव है, बहुत ही डाउन टू अर्थ भी है दोस्तों। और इंग्लिश भी इनकी काफ़ी बढ़िया है दोस्तों। तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं शॉर्ट्स भी, बहुत सारे इंटरेस्टिंग शॉर्ट्स भी इन्होंने बनाए हैं। और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं एक से बढ़कर एक जो है। तो जो गर्ल्स है उनको कुछ मेकअप के रिलेटेड कुछ सीखना हो तो इनको जो है यहाँ पे काफ़ी सारी नॉलेज जो है मिल जाएगी दोस्तों। देखते हैं इनका पॉपुलर जो है शॉर्ट कौन सा रहा है। ओके, तो ओ माय गॉड 13 लाख व्यू आए हैं ये वाले के अंदर, जो कि बहुत ही बढ़िया है दोस्तों। 2 लाख है, वाह इट्स अमेजिंग। यहाँ पे वीडियोस के अंदर देख लेते हैं। तो वीडियोस के अंदर भी थोड़ा सा कम जा रहा है, 13K तक ये पहुँचा है। उनके सब्सक्राइबर जो है आप देख लीजिए 113 वीडियोस बनाए हैं और अभी 3000 के आसपास सब्सक्राइबर है। तो धीरे धीरे जो है बढ़ेंगे दोस्तों। अभी तक लाइव नहीं की है, प्लेलिस्ट आपको कुछ कुछ मिल जाएंगे यहाँ पे। कम्युनिटी टैब के अंदर भी जो है आपको जो है इन्फॉर्मेशन नई नई चीज़ों की मिलती रहेगी। अभी इंस्टाग्राम पे शायद नहीं है दोस्तों। और यहाँ पे जो है इन्होंने अबाउट के अंदर भी जो है कुछ खास अभी इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं दी है। तो ओके दोस्तों, तो ये 2 चीज़ हो गई। अब थोड़ा सा हम इनका एनालिसिस जो है कर लेते हैं सोशल ब्लेड के अंदर। तो इनके आप देख सकते हैं जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि 113 के आसपास जो है वीडियो अपलोड किए। तो यहाँ पे इनकी जो है ना मंथली अर्निंग अप्रोक्सीमेटली जो है $200-300 की रहती होगी। सालाना जो है कुछ 12-13 हज़ार के डॉलर के आसपास रहती होगी दोस्तों। तो सिंपल सा यहाँ पे जो है हमने इनका इंट्रो ले लिया है। तो चलिए अब उनसे ही जानते हैं उनका क्या एक्सपीरियंस रहा है पूरी लाइफ के अंदर, हाई स्कूल के अंदर उनकी लाइफ कैसी थी, उनके बारे में थोड़ा सा डिटेल में जानते हैं। उनकी ये भी बोल सकते हैं बायोग्राफी टाइप का जो है हम जानने की कोशिश करेंगे। तो चलिए इंटरव्यू को शुरू कर देते हैं दोस्तों। About you, what did you study and why did you study, and 2 things if you can add up, how many of your friends maybe from high school or from your graduation shifted to another country, maybe Canada, Australia, and another thing is how many of your friends started their YouTube channel or as a part-time or full-time. Have you means you can share experience of.
So I'll start with that. Okay. So for a huge portion of my life, I have spent in Dubai. So I finished my high school education in Dubai, and then I moved to Kerala to do my undergraduates. And I'm a graduate in journalism and mass communication from the Kerala University. And getting into the communication field was quite a coincidence for me, because I was never actually looking into getting into the communication sector. I was more of leaning towards psychology. But I would say it was a lucky coincidence that kind of journalism came into my books, and I got admitted to that college first. So I was like, okay, I'll go with it. And I'll say 2 semesters into journalism, I was like, this is not the subject for me. I had no clue what I was doing, because I came from a science background.
Okay.
And with arts, it's like it's basically like kind of reversing my whole functioning of brain, because in science we are taught, okay, you have to by heart this and this, and when it comes to journalism we were like, okay, we don't have anything for you, it's all on your own. So that was kind of nice figuring it out. But yeah, I had a mental breakdown during the first 2 semesters, but then I got used to it. And I think around third semester or fourth semester is when I really started getting into journalism, and kind of I fell in love with the whole idea of the communication sector. And yeah, I would say the thing why I was saying it was a lucky coincidence was I ended up being the second rank holder in Kerala University for journalism. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and kind of I would say that the subject came to me rather than me going to it. So once that was done, so during my studies, I was a COVID graduate. So during my studies, I was lucky enough to intern at the International Film Festival of Kerala, not intern, work there for their media cell. And that kind of gave me the idea of public relations. So when we take journalism as a subject, there is a lot of fields to go by it. You can go for advertising, some people go for marketing, some people even go for psychology after that. But somehow I fell in love with public relations. I think it was the whole idea that you have enough power in a written note or a picture or a video to actually convince another person to change their mind or views. I think that was kind of the selling point for me to get into public relations. And I was looking for courses in public relations. Initially, I had no plan of kind of going abroad. But yeah, I was checking my options, and from my few years that I've worked back home, something that I figured out is the starting salary for the communication sector, be it journalism, public relation, it's very low. It's hardly enough for a person to survive on their own. And when searching for colleges, yes, there were some really good colleges, but I just feel like I couldn't get enough of what I wanted back home in this particular course. Obviously, I had my time at home. I had a lot of fun, and I think being there for those 3 years made me into the person that I am today. But yeah, I was checking, and then I don't know, out of a shot, the idea of Canada kind of came to me. Then I just started looking abroad. I went to UK. I was just brainstorming ideas of going to UK and then US or Canada. And when it came to UK, that time they had some problems. There were some conflicts going on. So I was like, okay, I'll stay away from UK. And then Canada was kind of a good option for me. I kind of researched a little bit on there. And I was looking for some courses, and I was actually selected into the interactive communication, media communication, and then public relations. And I was like, okay, let me kind of go in the path of public relations, and I will figure that out. And that is how I kind of ended up here. And what was your other questions? I'm sorry.
So actually, means how was your maybe first thing? Yes, how was your high school days or college days?
Mhm.
How was as a student? And another thing is that how many of your friends get into after high school? Like some people go for CA, some go for medical or things like that. So how many of your friends go for journalism as an example after science? Because nobody think about journalism, I guess. People go for traditional, field, traditional sectors. People go for preparing for IIT or things like that. And another thing is that how many of your friends get into YouTube as a part-time or career and get a little bit of success in that as well. And did you do that mic kind of work,
Yeah.
As you said, you are a COVID student, but did you do any outside journalism as an anchor or something like that? Did you get any chance to do that kind of thing?
Okay, I'll kind of answer in the order of the questions that you've asked. So as for my high school experience, I would say it was very different. So 3 of the phases that I'm going through are vastly different from each other. So my high school, as I told, I've completed in Dubai. And I studied in quite a conservative school, I would say. And I was not a very studious person at all. I strongly dislike maths. That's the reason I use the word strongly dislike is because I don't like using hate. Just saying. Yeah, so because of that, I think I was always actually inclined towards writing, even writing and English as a subject. Even when I was studying in Dubai, I was the cultural secretary for our school when I was passing out, so I was always kind of inclined towards the arts field, but I took science because I wanted a lot of options and I did not have any career goals. So I was like, okay, I'll take science, I can go to any other field I want. That's kind of like one of the reasons many people take science, I would say. And that's about it for, I think, high school experience. Graduation was a whole different thing. I had a lot of fun. Graduation was kind of the time that I was able to kind of find myself out. I had a lot of fun exploring the cities. Kind of, I think even the jobs that I did when I was back home gave me a lot of experience, gave me a lot of confidence. I was, yes, as you've asked, I was able to actually anchor. I was able to talk in front of the crowd. I was able to make video content for the places that I was working in. So a lot of exposure came to me like that, and I was interacting with a lot of high considered media houses in Kerala at that time. And those interactions really gave me confidence, and I was writing press releases which they would not even proofread to put in the newspaper the next day. So it is a lot of power in your hands that time, and that is kind of the time that I was able to find out my potential. And all throughout graduation and high school, I had some really, really supportive friends in my life who just kind of turned my world upside down, I'd say. Throughout high school, I had one of my really good friends, a friend. She kind of, and the idea of YouTube was actually there from when I was in high school. So I think about nine. Oh, I'm sorry, my phone just. I'm sorry. Okay. So from, I think, 9th or 10th grade, I had a blog which is not active right now. So I used to kind of do that, and I always wanted to get into YouTube because I think as a child growing up, I really consumed a lot of YouTube, and I was like, okay, this seems like the life that I want. I was never the person who would think I want to be behind the camera. I always want to be in front of the camera. So that is kind of the idea behind starting a YouTube. I wanted to I wanted to talk to people and kind of show them their life, show things that I'm passionate about, and that is kind of the goal of my YouTube channel alone. So I remember in 9th and 10th grade, I used to talk to my best friend back then, and I was like, I really wanted to start a YouTube channel. And it was all the things that, okay, you're going through a board exam, you took science, you have to focus on your studies. I think that is why it kept on being postponed. And when I was in Kerala, for my undergrads, we had, I think, a period of 3 months before I had to join for the classes. And so that one of my friends was like, see, this is now a perfect time to start a channel. And that is kind of when I started my initial videos. And then it became very irregular as it went on towards high school. And it was not until, I think, I would say, I was done with my high school that I really thought, okay, let's start this for seriously. And I kind of had a schedule for uploading and all. It was actually after graduation that I had all those ideas. And even I would say during graduation, I had some really good couple of friends who would kind of like, even if they see any opportunities around me, they would like, you have to try this, go ahead, speak in front of people. Kind of that really does a lot for any person. Having those support systems around you really kind of motivates you to work hard. And as for if any of my friends took journalism, I would say none of them from my particular class took journalism. As far as I know, I think one person from my entire batch took journalism other than me. I think again, many people, although they choose this, they never kind of take journalism as a subject that they want to study. And but at the same time, when I told people that, okay, I took journalism, they weren't really surprised. They were like, okay, that now looks like a subject that you could do. So that's what they told me. And yeah, I think it's kind of that way of figuring out what you want. And it comes to you. I think majority of my friends went for engineering, and then some went for MBBS, like we typically do back home. But yeah, that's all I'd say.
And which kind of subjects do they teach? Like, do they teach video editing, or I guess there is one subject called movie review, or just watch movie and analyze the movie, things like that. Is it true? Is this kind of subject over there in general? Understand the plot, or I don't know, but something. Okay. You need to watch video.
journalism is a very vast subject and they try to cover a lot of subjects. So I had times in journalism where I'm like, this doesn't even fit into journalism. Why am I studying this? So yes, we have filmmaking, but it's not analyzing the movies as such. We had a lot of theories and we had things on how a lighting should be like, or how to place a camera, what are the different angles, what are the different shots. We had a lot of practical classes. Those it was kind of that technical aspect. I think what you're talking about can be for a filmmaking degree or something, which they do to analyze the movie. They don't do that much in journalism, but yes, we have a course on that. And other courses, we have public relations, we have advertising, we had law, we had environment sciences, which is one of the subjects I'm like, okay, why am I learning this right now? And since I was in Kerala, I had 2 Malayalam subjects as well, which is kind of the reason I was thrown off initially, because Malayalam is not my strongest subject for writing. I speak Malayalam beautifully, but writing was not really my strong thing. Yeah, writing is a totally different thing. So, but yeah, I did manage to pull it off, and they teach a lot of interesting subjects there. And even when I'm doing here, I'm not even doing journalism, I'm doing public relations here. They teach a lot of things. So here they teach design, they teach visual communication, which is photography, and the way of learning is also vastly different from India and here. Here it is completely practical learning, that we don't have any exams, but we have assignments every week, which is very, very hectic. They just want, they are not very keen on by hearting the topic or remembering what they have taught us. It's much more of, are you capable to do this, and will you be able to do this at a workplace? That's all they care about, and all their assignments are kind of focused on that.
Mm-hmm. And what is the difference in education in maybe Qatar? What did you say? Saudi? Dubai, yes. So what is the difference in education? Actually, high school and college education is always totally different, but still in India you cannot manage to get time to go for work and study together. Yeah. But as an example, if you are in European countries or USA, Canada, Australia, then you can manage to get a time for job and study as well. So what is the difference in education in Dubai plus Kerala plus Canada? And did you try for Germany as well? Or you
I didn't really try for Germany. I didn't really want to study German. I'm not good with studying new languages. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. That's why Canada kind of appealed for me. Okay, now talking about educational differences in 3 countries. I would say Dubai and India stand very closely to each other, because I studied CBSE in Dubai. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing back home as well. So that I didn't find much of a difference, but I would say kind of the way of learning will be slightly different, because I knew like my friends who were back home, they had a lot of tuitions, a lot of after class studies, which I personally didn't do in Dubai. So that is kind of a difference there. But other than that, I don't think there are like vast differences in the educational field in Dubai and India. But Canada is a whole different story. As I've mentioned, it's completely based on practical education here. And it's much more the kind of it's very funny, because the kind of components that are there in India and here are similar. So what they're trying to teach you is similar, but it's in completely different ways. And part-time jobs, so I am studying public relations, which is kind of more of a packed up schedule for me. There is a lot that they have to teach in the 1 year that the course runs. So it's a very complicated course that they've mentioned. So finding time to work part-time is difficult. So as I've mentioned now, I am trying to work on the weekends so that I'll get the weekdays off for doing my presentations and assignments and all. So even right now, I came back after my shift to be here. It is kind of difficult. At times it gets difficult, because right now the semester is ending and we have a lot of heavy assignments that we need to submit, and a lot of them, it's not like, so back home it's like the night before the exam we can sit and by heart everything, we can go and write. But here it's not like that. We have to present in front of the class, we have to come up with actual ideas for organizations, which kind of gets a little bit difficult on your head. But yet you kind of find time to work, you find time to kind of do things you want, go out and explore, travel with your friends. Everything is important. You can't just focus on studies here, because that's not what you're here for. At the end of the day, you pay to move out. You took this risk of coming to a new country. It's to explore the country. It's to explore the things that it comes with.
So how many languages do you know? Like, did you try to learn French as well, or?
Okay, so French, I just came 3 months ago. So French is kind of far, and I've not been having time to kind of do anything else. So it's either studies or it's either socializing or work. That's all I have been having time for. But I would say I'm fluent in Malayalam, English. I know a little bit of Arabic because I had to take it for 10 years approximately. So I know the basic level of Arabic and Hindi. Hindi also they teach in CBSE. So those are all the subjects that I know so far. But I would love to learn French.
How many people speak French around you, or they are speaking English most of the?
Okay, most of them speak English because our class comprises of a lot of international students. So it's English mainly, but I have some friends who are from Kerala as well. And in our like kind of moments, we do take Malayalam, and others get super annoyed. They were like, speak in English.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah, so we have a thing of forming a gang everywhere we go, right? In the language that we're comfortable in speaking. So that kind of happens from time to time. But yeah, the people who have been here for some time, even a year or so, kind of are starting to learn French because it kind of adds to their when they're applying for permanent residence, it kind of adds to their score as well. So many people are kind of finding their way for that.
And did you apply by yourself, or did you hire some consultant or things like that? How did you write your SOP, or you just try in one university, or you apply multiple university? And how much is the cost to apply one university as application fee, or is there any kind of thing like that over there?
Okay, so since I was very, very clueless on where to go or if I wanted to go, I thought it was the best to hire an agent. So I came here through Santa Monica. It's quite an agency in Kerala. I don't know about other places. So I went to them. They were very helpful with the course selections and all. They have like a list of colleges that they would suggest you, but if you kind of do your research on your own, you can get an idea of what courses you want. And it's many people consider coming to Canada as kind of a place to work and not for education. That's kind of a trend that happens in our country. But that is very, very wrong. And I think that is where students go wrong the most. You have to have a basic education or a good education that kind of keeps you here. Part-time jobs can come and go anytime. It only offers you the basic pay. So at the end of the day, you have to have a bigger aim. So that's why I kind of did my own research as well, and I was very keen on taking public relations. And I had a couple of issues when it came to the visa application, and I came January by luck, I would say, because I appeared for IELTS in about March, and my final research at 2020 to pass out. So my final results would only come out in about July. So after that only I could actually start the visa process. So for applying here, I applied around June, and I had to kind of give my consolidated mark list for them to actually accept my application. And getting into PR, we had to give our media profile as well. So a couple of press releases we have written, a couple of things that they asked you to write about, some things and all. You have to give a little bit of idea that you have some language capability to get into public relations, especially. Talking about college, Vansha is an amazing college. Since I had a pretty good score in undergraduate, they kind of waived off my application fees. But I think on an average, they do have $100 kind of application fee, similar to all the many colleges in Canada. And as for the agents, they were actually very helpful, but I would say I was in all the process. I wanted to know what goes into everything. What goes into everything. And also I was very curious. I used to ask questions back and forth, and we had really good conversations. And that is kind of how I figured things out. And by the time that I had to apply for visa, it was already November. And if you're one person who has been following the migration thing for long, you would know that visa processing takes a lot of time. So people have waited 3 months, 4 months, 5 months for the visa to come, and I was very, very lucky. I got it in about 20 days. So I in time for me to book a ticket, and I came home. It was all, I think even now thinking back, I cannot think properly during those days, because it's like 1 month. I had no hope of coming here. I was planning to defer to next September, but by chance, by luck, I would say, by God's grace, that I was able to come here during this time. And please.
How much did you score in IELTS? Did you?
I scored 7.5. It was also because of the fact that I really didn't focus a lot on my IELTS because I was working during that time. So it was a lot of running out, running out doing work, and kind of coming back, and I really didn't get any time to prepare, quite honestly. Even going for IELTS, I went from my workplace for like 5-6 hours. I wrote IELTS, finished the things, and I came back. So yeah, I always said this, that if I had some more time to prepare, or if I sat down to prepare, I would have probably scored a little bit more than that, but I'm completely satisfied. This is all the score that I needed to get in anyway.
Because I guess maybe you studied in English medium throughout your education,
Yeah.
so I guess it will help. It helped
Yeah.
you over there.
Absolutely, because I've seen some of my friends who are kind of struggling to
Struggling
write
so much.
struggling so much, and I don't blame them. We there had a strict rule that we could only speak in English all throughout the school timing. That really helped, and the education kind of, there is no kind of comparison. I cannot kind of blame anyone and say that you don't speak good English. That's kind of the way that we are brought up in.
Yeah.
That is not justified at all.
That's interesting. And do you have a dress code in your college, or we can say Kerala University? Because I heard that a lot of South Indian colleges have that kind of thing. Everybody have to wear some kind of like a school dress, you know. Is
Yeah.
it true? Is it true in Kerala University as well?
True. I don't know about other colleges in Kerala. Mine had a very, very strict rule, which is one of the things that I strictly disliked about the college. So going to college, we had a uniform for undergrads as well. So there were like 1 month or 2 month time where the uniforms needed to be actually stitched, and that time they allowed us to wear the normal clothes. And it was very, very funny. We had to wear kurtis without any slits, and we couldn't wear leggings under. We could only wear patiala or plazos or anything, and we had to wear a shawl with it. It was a huge deal. But one thing I'm very happy about is we didn't say anything. We kind of followed them, but our juniors who came after us were very strong. They were very opinionated. They were like, okay, we won't do this. We paid to study in your college. We're not going to do this. And they were very cool about it, and they actually took a decision which I'm like super proud of. And in Canada, they do not really have any rules. Yeah, they do not have any dress codes. I think it's just in my work that they have kind of specific codes, dress codes that you need to follow. But that's again work, so we have to follow the ethics by there. Yeah.
And it's cool. So how about your creative side? Because you are posting a lot of makeup and DIY related videos as well, and I guess you started some vlogging as well. So how is your experience, and how did you learn? I guess girls know about this thing, but still, how did you learn different makeup and things like that?
Okay, so makeup, I have no idea how I actually learned makeup. It kind of like came to me. My mom used to buy a really good makeup, and when she used to go to office, I used to kind of sneak in, kind of look at everything and all, and that. It was like a step-by-step process, and my parents never kind of refrained me from wearing makeup or trying it out or anything. So that kind of really gave me a lot of ideas, and I kind of played around with makeup for a long time. That when I started my YouTube channel, I was like, okay, makeup, I know this, I can do this. That was that. And DIYs was something that I used to do from when I was, I think, from 5th grade or something. It's something that I really love to do. So when I was in 7th grade, now I used to make earrings out of paper. So I used to make jhumkas and other earrings and all, which my mom used to wear. And I've always loved doing crafts, and that kind of resonates in my channel as well. And it was only after coming to Kerala that I found out something called the molded clay, which kind of and I had a lot of fun with that. I had a lot of fun making different things, and it's kind of one of the most therapeutic things for me. When things get very stressful and all, I can just sit in a corner, paint or write or do some creative shit, and it just puts my mind in the right track and kind of gives me a break from everything else. When I came to Canada, I'm currently sharing my room with someone. I have a roommate, and filming DIY videos is not as possible as it was then. There is a lot of restrictions. I don't have a lot of things, so I need to I'm slowly gathering my stash. So that is something that needs to be worked on. So for the time being, I didn't also want to take a break from YouTube, because again, it is filming and editing also kind of gives me a therapeutic feeling. I've always kind of been that way. So that I have to, like, even if I'm in a very pressured situation, even like when I am filled with a lot of assignments and work, I always kind of make a little time for YouTube, so that I don't know, it's kind of a way for relaxation for me as well. So right now I've been more of focused on vlogs, because I can do my things as well and I can vlog. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 deal, which I try to do, and I've been enjoying it. But yes, I miss doing DIYs, and I really hope to start doing it soon.
I guess the vlog take a lot of planning and a lot of small parts you need to record and then find out some good music for that. So it's a little bit long process. A lot of
Yeah.
people are doing vlogging since maybe 15 years back, but still I think there is a lot of creativity people can show in their vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even in cooking as well. Recently, a lot of people are experimenting a lot of different things rather than traditional cooking videos. So they
That's,
are so in vlogging as well. People can do a lot of things, I guess.
yeah. Technology develops. You can't like expect to do a video which was trending 2 years back. It won't work now. So you have to kind of go with time and go with the technology. Some videos will be trending now, some videos will be forgotten in 10 months time, I would say. And like, I think we have to move with that. And I quite honestly have always been following YouTubers, not just big YouTubers. I've been following small YouTubers as well, kind of seeing what they're doing, and I kind of take inspiration from it for many videos that I do.
So who are your kind of favorite, or we can say what kind of videos do you watch every day? Any kind of following? Like I used to
Okay.
watch movie review videos as well as
Yeah.
some motivational videos and some cooking related videos as well, some travel. I guess my choice is similar as
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Absolutely, yeah. So my the kind of YouTube videos that I watch is kind of dependent on the mood I am. So whenever I'm doing my assignments or homeworks, I would like to have a video running in the background. So during that time, I would select some vlogs, mainly like longer vlogs. One of my favorite vloggers is British vlogger called Zoe Sugg, Zoella. She's someone that I've seen like from a really young age, and kind of to this point also I watch her from time to time. And it's nothing specific really. When I need to kind of give my full attention, I would watch, since like they say the audience's attention span is reducing. I am no exception. So YouTube Shorts are the way to go for me when I'm eating food, or when I'm in the bus, or when I'm waiting for someone. I go through
Yes.
YouTube Shorts. So I think that's what we all. So that is kind of my go-to thing now. But yeah, I kind of have a soft spot for vlogs always. It's not really it's something that kind of creates a memory. Creating a vlog is creating a memory. So a recent video that I posted about the open house, about my me going to work and all, it's kind of for me to watch on another day, a few years from now, when situation will be very different. I would love to go back and see. And I kind of regret not making vlogs for many moments that I had back in Kerala, because I have no, I would not say memories of it, but I don't have any kind of videos to go back and kind of refresh those memories. So that is why I'm very keen on doing that now.